Right now in Cumberland County, houses are selling in 10 or less days. So if your house has been sitting for a lot longer than that, the market's probably not your problem, something else is. If you're thinking about selling your house, please watch this video. I'm going to talk about 4 things that separates the houses that sell right away and the houses that might not sell at all. And why is this important? Because traditionally, the longer that a house is going to sit, the less money you're going to get for it. Most sellers think that's a pretty big deal. I'm Mat Hench, a realtor you probably won't hate. I work out of Carlisle, Cumberland County, the surrounding areas, and I get to see firsthand what separates the houses that sell and the ones that don't. Looking at the actual numbers on this has been really fascinating to me. I just checked it here this morning, which is the 28th of May, and there were 502 homes pending in Cumberland County, which is a lot of homes. 289 of them sold. They went under contract in 10 or less days. Over 50% of the houses. They say in an even market, seller buyer market is even, the average days on market would be 60 days. So we're still far way off from that. I'll be curious to see what the May average was. All right, so let's do 4 of the things that will affect this. We're gonna start with the biggest one. You can probably guess it, pricing. Pricing is critical right now, it's critical. And if you overprice a house, it's just not gonna sell. Okay, that's the bottom line. It's gonna sit. I just recently saw 2 overpriced houses. I was showing them. And the one, my client was like, yeah, if we write on this, it's gonna be $100,000 under asking, which was like 33% of the listing price. And that's a really big difference, and you don't want to be the seller in that situation where people's only option are to come and lowball you, even though it wasn't truly a lowball, it was just kind of what the property was worth. The other one recently, and I got this one under contract, was a property was sitting for around 100 days. My clients went, looked at it, wrote an offer of maybe around $40,000 under the original asking price, and they landed it for about $30,000 under. Again, don't be the seller that puts the price way up high and then nobody wants it. You can't just throw it on the market for whatever you want, okay? Like, there has to be evidence to back up the price. And don't come to me and be like, oh, Matt, but my neighbor got $400. I don't care what your neighbor got if it's not a comparable property to yours. This isn't Cumberland County 2021. You can't just put it on for whatever you want and see what happens, okay? You gotta know the value of your house. If you wanna know the value of your house, I can certainly help you with that. You can go to the description, it should be the very first link, click it. It'll open up my page and click, hey, what's my house worth? Or free home value, whatever that bubble says, and fill out the information and I can get you a free home value. And we can do it one of 2 ways. We can do it the really fast, really easy way, where I can send you a home value estimate and it has a bunch of other cool information. Just know that it's a rough estimate, I don't have to go to your house, or we can do it the more accurate way, which if you're serious, if you're actually thinking about selling your house, this is the way I'd recommend doing it, is I'll make you up a CMA, or comparative market analysis, which looks like this. I can't actually show you this, it's not made for you, but essentially it has a bunch of different properties that are comparable to yours, and what makes those properties a little better than yours, what makes them a little bit not as nice as yours, and to find a price range that might make sense for your house. Obviously that's a little bit more involved, so it just depends what you want. Let me know. Okay, second thing that's making houses not sell, and this one kills me, the listing photography. Like, why? This is 2026. Why are we still having trouble with the listing photography? Okay, and marketing in general. We have better pictures on Mars than we have some of the listings in Cumberland County. Don't go try to sell a $500,000 house with your cell phone pictures, okay? Like, the photography is really important. The marketing is really important. If people are looking at the pictures and they don't like them enough to go see the house, if you're not getting showings, then you're never going to get offers. That's the math. I think realtors have to be almost just as much marketers as we do have to be in the real estate industry, because that's our job, is to get people interested in your house, interested enough to go check it out. We're not talking so much about for sale by owners in this video, but I think that's one of the biggest differentiators between, professionals and for sale by owners is the marketing. If this isn't your full-time job, we can't expect you to be able to market your property at a really high level. The reach just isn't going to be as high, less competition. So even if you do want to do a for sale by owner, please just hire a professional photographer. At the very least, do that if you want your house to sell. Number 3, I already made reference to this, but the condition of the house is important, right? Most people fit into one of these 3 categories. They either come and they're like, hey, I don't want to do a thing. I don't want to spend a cent on this house. Just sell it as it is, okay? Number 2, people might come in and they say, hey, we're willing to do some stuff, like $1,000. What's the most important things we should do, with $1,000 to increase the value of the home? And then number 3, hey, we're willing to throw everything we got at this, whatever it needs to make this sell for a higher price or faster. Let us know and we'll do it. The biggest thing I can say is don't do anything until you talk to me or a good realtor. I don't want you to go spending a lot of money fixing things or doing things that aren't important to the sale of your house. It's not all important. There's usually a few things that you can change or do that makes the biggest difference. All right, lastly, number 4 is the location. Location has a lot to do with if the house is going to sell or not, because you can change anything you want about a property. The only thing you can't change is the location. So, maybe you're in a flood zone by the Susquehanna or the Conneaut Yellow Breaches. We have a lot of waterways in Cumberland County. Maybe you're not in a flood zone, but maybe you're out in the middle of nowhere. And because of that, just the traffic through is not going to be as high. Or maybe you're in a really, really tight area where parking's really hard. Okay, location's important. So especially if you're not in like a super ideal location, you've got to nail the other 3 things. You've got to nail the pricing, the marketing, the photography, and the condition. Again, only if you want your house to sell. If you don't want your house to sell, do whatever you want. Okay, so what do you do if you want to sell? Well, obviously, if you want that home value, you can go and you can click the link to home value. If you want to sell your house and you just kind of want to have a conversation about it, next steps, then you can shoot me a text. You can copy it here in the description, or if you go to that link, one of those buttons says text Matt to sell your house, and that text will come straight to me. It's not an AI robot or anything like that. Text me 24/7. I won't answer it 24/7, but I'll get to you. Just text me. Be like, hey, Matt, I'm selling in blank. Don't actually say blank. Be like, wherever you're at, Mechanicsburg, Carlisle, Camp Hill, Enola, Harrisburg, wherever you are, just shoot me a text to get the ball started. To get the ball rolling is the phrase. Make sure to subscribe if you liked this video, got value out of it or anything like that. If you hated it, let me know that too. But be gentle, I'm kind of soft. Thanks for watching.